Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Zimmerman. I'll be doing field assignment number 2. In this video essay I will be analyzing the non-standard dialects in the form of media. The media I have chosen is King of the Hill. Some quick facts about King of the Hill. It originally aired in 1997 and ran for 13 seasons until it was finally canceled in 2010. In the show, the writers used dialects and perceptions of dialects in order to satirize American culture. The three characters I'll be examining each emphasize this point. Hank Hill, the show's protagonist and user of a Texan accent.
Can I ask you one more question? What and what accessories do I sell for a living?
Con Supernussenphone, who uses what could be described as an Asian American accent, but what he says is a Laotian accent.
Haven't they replaced you with a coin-operated machine yet?
And Boomhauer, who speaks a variety of Southern English that is at times difficult to understand.
Got one, man. Woo, that big old man. Look at them nice teeth on there, man. It's like a dang old Taco Grande, man, with them.
In King of the Hill, the writers use the different dialects to poke fun at the common conceptions Americans have about these dialects. From the Texan accent to the Asian accent to the more classic Southern accent, each of these have jokes written into them making fun of not necessarily the accents, but the perceptions of those accents.
In Dennis Preston's work, Language Attitudes to Speech, he gave many Americans a map of the United States and asked them to highlight accents. What he found was that many Americans believed Southern speakers to be slow or dull-witted, and in one of his examples, someone even circled Texas and wrote hillbillies.
Talking about that dang old cuts and collars, man, like when they come over to clean that pool, man, start going.
We can see that Boomhauer is clearly making fun of this prejudice.
In this clip, we see Boomhauer trying to call 911.
Sir, you are going to have to speak more slowly. I cannot understand you.
Dang old make low mark and talk that damn old that is boom.
We see in this clip that the 911 operator can't understand Boomhauer.
Sir, you are going to have to speak more slowly. I cannot understand you.
Here in the TV show, the writers are poking fun at linguistic discrimination. No, not overtly, because Boomhauer isn't trying to find housing or anything like that, but he is having a hard time communicating with someone who should have been able to understand that there was obviously an emergency, and clearly it was at the Megalomart. This is nowhere near as extreme as the situations shown in John Bow's research, but it's still worth mentioning. Moving right along, we have Con Supernussenphone, user of the Asian American accent.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
I live in California last 20 years, but first come from Laos.
Huh?
Laos. We the ocean.
The ocean?
Lippy Green states that in media like Disney movies, foreign accents are used negatively to trivialize and demonize those from different countries.
In stark contrast, the show is making fun of the common misconception many Americans have towards Asian Americans. Hank, like many Americans, assumes that Con is either Chinese or Japanese strictly because he is Asian and has an accent.
Con, an L2 speaker, clearly cannot shake off all of his first language accent. However, as he states in the clip, he's been living in the United States for over 20 years.
Con's accent is very blatant, like when he says he lived in California for 20 years.
I live in California last 20 years, but first come from Laos.
What's being downplayed in Con's accent is his use of L when he says California instead of the stereotypical California.
Mixing Hank and Con's interaction, so are you Chinese or Japanese, pokes fun at the misconception that many Americans have that if someone is Asian, they must be from either China or Japan.
And lastly, we have Hank Hill, the Texan accent user.
Okay, I'm looking for a tap and die and some WD-40.
Huh. Well, what is it that you're trying to do?
I'm trying to buy a tap and die and some WD-40 and get out of this godforsaken store.
This clip is linguistically interesting for two reasons. The first reason is Hank's speech pattern. In the clip, we see Hank say W instead of W.
Some WD-40.
Clearly a linguistic feature of the Texan accent. Additionally, we see in the first clip I showed, Hank saying what instead of what.
Some WD-40. What and what accessories?
These are both features of the Texan accent. In Mary Bulch's work on slang in White Kids, she postulates that slang is used to differentiate children from peer groups as well as from authority figures. In this clip, we see Hank infuriated by the casualness of the youngster.
And what is a tap and die?
Okay, forget it.
This is the way the show is making fun of different age groups and their different vocabularies. To conclude, King of the Hill uses different dialects to make fun of different stereotypes and prejudice Americans have against people with different accents than their own.
Paper tomorrow.
Place of birth, New York, New York.
Hank! That crazy Canuck is mowing your yard!